I'm live, so you gotta hush it up. I gotta kick you out of here, I will. What's up, what's up? We're just working on a couple orders today. The first thing I'm going to be working on are these Texas quarters. We're going to be making them into cowboy hats. I got a couple of them here. Okay, and the first step is to anneal them. So we're going to hop over here to my annealing station. And annealing is basically a process where you heat up the metal and then you dip it in water, and that just makes it easier to bend and work with. So we've got our Texas quarters, and we're just going to heat them up and then dip them in this water and make some cool stuff out of them. If you guys are excited, tap the screen, put the little cowboy hat emoji in there. Let me know you guys are pumped to see this. And had to track down my pliers. Try and get this in frame here. That should be pretty good. Alright. Thanks, Doug. How's everybody doing today? I'm having a pretty good morning. Yeah, I look for the changing color of the flame. See how it's orange now? That means it's hot enough. I'll dip it in that water there. And we've got a few of these we're going to do. I'm just going to make a couple. All in one go. We've got 6 Texas quarters. So I've got 3 Texas quarter keychains I've got to make for orders, and the other 3 are just going to be to have ready. So if you guys want to get you one, you can tap my cool logo at the top of the screen here, and then the link in my profile. From there you can find my store. I make all kinds of cool stuff out of coins, rings, keychains. And you can actually check that out while still staying on the TikTok live, so that's pretty cool. Just hop over to the website, see what I make, see if there's something there you might want. And I'm on TikTok pretty often, on TikTok live making orders, so if you order something, there's a good chance you'll see it get made here on a live. Thank you guys for the follows and the likes, I do appreciate it. I got a notification that somebody made it over to the website, so I do appreciate that as well. If you missed out how to get there, it's real easy. You can just tap my logo at the top of the video and then the link on my profile. And you see a couple more people making it over there. I do appreciate it. We got 2 more of these we need to anneal, and then we can start bending them into hats. And I'm sorry if I'm missing any comments. I kind of have to pay attention to what I'm doing so I don't hurt myself. So I am just focused on what I'm doing here for the moment. So bear with me on that. I do appreciate your patience. If you're enjoying the video so far, go ahead and tap the screen. That'll let TikTok know you're liking what you're seeing. This is our last one here. And I'll get real close when I quench this one in the water so you guys can see it. It's pretty satisfying. Like I said, we're just looking for that change in the color of the flame. So when that orange flame starts coming up, you see it now? That means that copper coin is heated up enough. And that's nice. All right, we'll hop over here to my 1-ton arbor press. I'm doing good. And this is basically what they look like after annealing. They've got this black surface. This is called fire scale. And eventually we'll just buff that off with some steel wool. So that won't be too big of a deal. If you guys are worried about the legality of making jewelry out of coins, I do have a blog post on my website that I co-wrote with a lawyer to like cover all my bases. But the short answer is like penny smashing machines have been around since at least the 70s, and no one's ever gone to jail for doing that. The law you may be referring to talks about fraudulently altering currency. So if you were to take like a penny and make it appear to look like a dime and then try to spend it, that would be fraud, and that's against the law. But what I'm doing is I make jewelry and other cool stuff out of coins, so they're no longer coins once I sell them, and that's the difference. So the next step for these is we're going to put the dome like in the center where your head goes in the hat. And I'm just going to get my guides for that real quick. If you're enjoying the live, go ahead and tap the screen. Let me know. And this is called a doming block, and this basically makes like half circle or hemisphere shapes out of metal, and that's what I'm going to be using it for. We're going to take our quarter here, and we want Texas facing out, or to be on the top of the hat, so we're going to put it face down. And we'll put this other guide on top of it. And to fold it, there's a little ball bearing I put in here. And we try and make sure everything's as lined up as it can be. And we're just going to push down with my press. And check it out. Pretty cool. Nice little half UFO shape. I think it looks like a zit, but eventually it'll be a cowboy hat. And we're just going to do that 5 more times. And while I'm doing that, y'all can hang out and watch, I suppose. It does look like I have a couple moderators in here, so I might be able to get them to answer questions. Like I said, I'm mainly focused on what I'm doing, so I may miss your comments. There's number 2. Yeah, if you put them together, you can get like a pretty cool little UFO shape. Put these in the most awkward place. I gotta move these cords. Thank you. We're making quarters into cowboy hats. And this is kind of like the in-between stage. After this, we'll fold up the sides and make them into hats. I usually make rings, but I do have a couple orders for these hats. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. If you think they're interesting and you'd like to get some, you can tap this logo right here and then the link on my profile. And there's a shop there, and you can get you something. But if you just want to hang out and watch, that's cool too, man. Like, that's what it's about. Y'all just enjoying some good content, not the average TikTok live. Not wrapping rubber bands around watermelon and wait until they explode and, you know, that kind of thing. It's basically, you ever seen like a penny smasher at amusement parks? Or at like museums or aquariums, where you put a penny in and then 50 cents and it squishes a design onto the coin, makes it elongated and very thin. So that's legal, right? Those exist. So I'm pretty sure I can do this too. Oh, you're very welcome. I think it's fun. I don't know. I like doing it. And people seem to like it. So I think it's a good fit. I like to do it. People like to watch. I think that's a pretty solid game plan right there. Alright, so we got the center pushed out on all these. Now we're going to fold them into little hats. Can you still spend them? No. Once you buy something from me, it's no longer currency. It would be probably illegal to spend it. I wouldn't recommend trying. No, you're fine. If you're interested in getting started in making coin rings or even just these little coin hats, I have a recommended tool list on my website. There's a button for it right there at the top. And you can there's videos of me showing you how the tools work and links on where to get them and what you need to do different types of things. So if you're interested in that, that's the best resource I have for you. I started with some really basic caveman tools. I spent less than $100 and the results were not good. I'm not going to lie to you. But my technique improved and I sold some pretty ugly rings for not very much money. And that allowed me to get better tools. And as I invested more in the tools, the jewelry got better. And it's been a really nice, positive feedback loop. Okay, so these have fire scale on them because they've been annealed. So I hit them with fire and then dipped them in water to make the copper softer. After we shape them, I'm going to hit them with some steel wool, and that's actually going to make the shine come back to the higher details on the coin. So we'll see that in a little bit once we finish folding these. So no, they don't get sent out all dark like this unless somebody specifically asks for it. I really try to get my stuff as shiny as possible when I send it out. It's not illegal. I do have a blog post about it at the top of my website, which you can find by tapping my logo and the link in my profile. It's about a 2-minute read, and it should answer all your questions. Mm-hmm. I don't know, it might be more than a 2-minute read. It might be like a 4-minute read, but there's good information in it. If I'm filming it, usually takes about 30 minutes. If I'm just rushing through it and I can really focus on what I'm doing, like a quarter copper ring, I can do in maybe 15 minutes. But again, I have like a whole setup here with some rather expensive tools. So the more you invest in your tools, the faster you can do things, I suppose. So it took me longer when I first got started. All right, so here's our little hats. Yeah, and it also depends on the size of the coin, the type of the coin, the size the ring needs to be. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Like the first time I made a silver dollar ring, it took me 3 days because I really wanted to. Yeah, these are going to be keychains. I really wanted to make sure I did it right, so I took it really slow the first time. And if anybody's interested in getting anything that I make, you can tap the logo at the top of the screen here, that cool little logo I've got, and then the link in my profile, and I've got a shop on there. There's not a ton of stuff, so you can snoop around real quick and see what I offer and see if there's something you like, and then hop back over here. I'm just buffing these up with some steel wool, and I'll show you what the first one looks like and the difference between like before and after in just a second here. So like this is like what they look like after I clean them up. So they've still got a little bit of like a gray, like weathered look to them, but the higher details are very nice and shiny and easier to read. Yeah, the little mini cowboy hats. Little mini cowboy hats. See if we can get real close to them. Get you a good look. While I clean up the rest of these, I just got to run through buffing these up. So this might be kind of a slow, boring part. So it'd be a good time to go check out my website if you haven't yet. Just visiting it really helps me out. Like Google likes when people visit websites a bunch. So the more people that visit my website, the higher it gets ranked, yada, yada, yada. So just going and looking and reading for, I don't know, a minute or two really helps me out. Yeah, they're little cowboy hats made out of quarters. These are Texas quarters. I think they're probably one of my favorite ones to make into cowboy hats. I think it lines up really nicely. I like to put them on these. I think they're cute on these. Rock lobster. Texas cowboy hat. Yeah, you can purchase through the link on my profile. White Mountain. Probably. I can do a 1976 quarter into a coin ring. What you'll need to do is go to the pick your date listing, and that should be $17. I hope you can hear me. and that answers your question. There we go. So what we're doing right now is we're cleaning up these, the fire scale off of these. So they're pretty much done. But we've got a couple more that are still nice and black. And I'm buffing them up to heighten that detail. All over the FYP. That's nice. Yeah, every once in a while I find it like a W or a West Point quarter. They're from 2020 and 2019. They're worth about 20 bucks. And I found about 8 of them. Yeah, I can show you some rings. What would you like to see? You want to see a quarter ring, $half ring, Morgan dollar ring, American Eagle ring? I make a lot of different types of rings. What would you like to see? And if you're enjoying this live so far, I know we're not doing something super exciting at the moment. I'm just cleaning these up, but I would appreciate it if y'all tap the screen. And yeah, I'll pull some rings out and let y'all see what they look like. The first one I saw was $half. Here's the one I have on hand, and I usually send these out straighter than this. So this one still has a bit of a cone shape to it, and that's so that I can resize it to the customer when they order. So this one's just a demo, but it could be resized and sold. And this is a Walking Liberty $half. It's pretty cool. You got the flag behind her, you got Liberty on the front, and 1944. I'll set that down right here. The next one I saw was a Morgan dollar. Somebody wanted to see a Morgan. This is how I like the Morgan dollars the most. They usually come out a bit shinier than this. So this one has some black highlight on it. But this is the back of a Morgan dollar. And you can see here on the inside, the date is 1886. And these come out really nice. I like these a bunch. And I do them backwards because this is what they look like with the front out. And the stars are nice. Let's see if we can get the focus a little better on it. Like the stars around the band are nice, but like her face isn't super flattering all the way stretched out like this. Yeah, but some people want the date on the outside, and that's totally fine. I just prefer like all this detail that's on the back, and the "In God We Trust" looks really good. Then here is an American Eagle. I just recently started doing these. They're really challenging, so they're a bit more expensive, and these are like 99.99 silver instead of the 90% silver that most of my other rings are, like this $half. And I really like how they come out. I'm going to be playing with some different sizes for these bands when I get a different disc cutter in. I think this is pretty thick, and I want to try and slim it down and see how that looks. But I do really like it. Like, it really grabs attention. And these usually have a lot of awesome, really nice detail on them, because people aren't usually like messing around with their American Eagles too much. They usually leave them in the cases, so these usually come really nice. And then just to wrap things up, this is a silver or 90% silver state quarter. This one's for Texas. I really like how these come out. Like, the band's really nice. You get this reeded edge that's really nice. Cut edge on this side. You get details on the inside. These are just really cool little rings. And I have quite a few states available in this. Not all 50, but quite a few. And the best way to order these is through my Etsy. That's a little trickier to get to. It's just the orange button on my website with like a capital E. Or you can look up my Etsy at thecoinringmaker.com, or just The Coin Ring Maker. But yeah, those are some of my rings. I'm gonna go ahead and finish buffing up these cowboy hats. We got 3 left. What's up, Coin Hub? I'm sorry if I missed any questions. That was a mouthful. I gotta catch my breath. I haven't done any pure gold just because gold is really expensive, but I do basically pure silver and 90% silver and copper clad. Oh, these are copper clad quarters, the cowboy hats. And just for the people that may have missed it, what I'm doing right now is we've got these that have fire scale all over them, and I'm just buffing that off of the raised detail on them to get a real nice shiny effect. Kind of bring the details back to it, but still give it like a weathered look. So it kind of looks like a hat. I don't know. Gold is hard to work with. Yeah, I'm pretty scared, pretty worried to work with gold. I wouldn't want to snap a gold ring, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, they fit pretty well on Legos. I would recommend the penny hats. They just look a little better for the scale. Let me see if I have one here. So I do pennies too, and I think these look better on Legos, but that's just my personal opinion. I just got one more of these to buff up, and then we'll make them into keychains. Yeah, I check for errors, I check for rare coins. I check all my coins 3 times before I work on them. I used to just check once, but TikTok coin collectors really like, they were like, dude, you need to check your coins. So now I do a 3-step process of all my coins before I work on them. Yeah, I've actually learned a lot more about coins since I've started like working with them as a medium. It's kind of weird. Like it's made me a coin collector, which I did not expect. There's our last one. And now we're going to punch some holes in these. We'll kind of go over here to do that. Yeah. It's got this nice blue to it. Yep, that's my favorite coin I've got so far since I started making coin rings. It's super cool. With silver, I usually have to put something between the 2 things I'm folding it with. So I like to use plumber's tape and wrap the coin around that, and then bend the metal to try and save detail. Copper is a little more resilient, so I don't have to be as careful. There's our hole. Now we've got these Texas quarter cowboy hats all polished up. We've got a hole punched in them. Now we just need to put the keychain on them. It slid right off. So we'll get those keychain parts and get these put together. And we're making quarter cowboy hat keychains. We got some jump rings here. Got some keychains. Let's see how well I can film this for you guys. Now this one came out kind of ugly. This one's probably not going to get sent out, but just to show you how it goes, we'll feed this jump ring through here. And we'll hook our keychain onto the jump ring and let it hang down. Just grab it with some needle nose pliers and fold it shut. Now we've got a cute little Texas cowboy hat keychain. We'll just do that a couple more times, then we can move on to make something else cool out of coins. If you don't know yet, you can order from me by tapping the logo up at the top of the screen and then the link in my profile. Thank you. Oh, you like it? It's got character. I suppose so. There's number 2. Number 3. Sorry about my fat fingers getting in the way here. This is a tricky thing to film. There we go. There's number 4. I think this one came out looking the best. We'll set these aside in the finished bucket. They'll ship out later today. Now we're gonna make something pretty cool. These are gonna be cool, man. We got 10 of these 2020 back quarters. I've got this 3D metal stamp over here that's like the perfect size to fit on top of this bag. So So what we're going to do is we're going to go here and stamp them. Let me get this set up. And I promise this is going to be cool, guys. Like, this is one of the neatest things I think I've made. I really like these. And got an order for 10 of them. I'm pumped. So the first thing we got to do is we got to line up these two stamps on top of each other because it's 3D, right? So this is going to push out of the coin itself. And it's got double-sided tape on top here. So we're going to bring the press down, the tape's going to stick to it, and then we're going to release the press and it's going to come up and it's still going to be lined up. So I can put the coin inside. I don't know. It took me a long time to figure that out. So I like sharing it. When we release this, it goes up there. And we're going to try and line up the larger bat's head with the skull. Sometimes you get it just right, sometimes you miss. Let's give it a go. And this is a 12-ton hydraulic press for anyone who's interested. So this one we went just a little low on it, I think. I'll try again. That one's much better. What do y'all think of that? Is that pretty cool? I don't know. If you like it, put the little skull and crossbone emoji in the chat. Let me know. Nice. Pretty cool. I have a blog post about the laws around this on my website. You can find it by linking or clicking this logo up here and then a link in my profile. There's a button there. Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't like giving out legal advice, but I did work with a lawyer on that blog post, so that's my best answer for you. Pretty cool. Let's see.
walking into the living room and Kyle's in there.
Wait, what?
Yeah.